We're on time.
So, yes.
Yay.
So, welcome every pony to the HarmonyCon Sports Bronies panel. How are you all doing this Friday evening?
I sense your enthusiasm as well.
Come on, you guys. How you doing tonight?
That's what I'm talking about.
Very good.
I have an excuse. I was in a car wreck on the way here. So
Oh my God.
I hope. Okay.
that's why I've got food. I'm getting carbs and sugar and in my system just to stay up.
We seriously hope that you are okay,
Oh, I'm fine,
and that your automobile survived.
Automobile mostly survived. It does need some body work, so it's going to be in the shop for a while. But
I'm sorry. Well, okay. So normally in this panel, we would have a PowerPoint presentation accompanying us, but I decided to forego that this time. First of all, let's introduce ourselves. I'll go first. My name is Red Card.
Hi, Red Card.
Hi,
Red Card.
I've been in the fandom. This is my 10th year in the fandom, by the way.
Yay!
This is my, I guess, 10th Brony-versary, so to speak. I've been into Philadelphia sports since I think 2002.
I'm so sorry. 3 championships in 3 months, man. I'm so.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
2003, I was like 3
No. This past year, I mean. I follow the Phillies, the Eagles, the Sixers, the Flyers, the Philadelphia Union, Team USA at the Olympics, and the U.S. men's and women's national soccer teams as well. And in case you didn't notice, I'm dressed up as a referee because I'm actually certified as a referee in Eastern Pennsylvania. Been doing that for 10 years as well. Soccer.
Nice. What is it for, like?
For recreational youth, like U8 up to U18, so a couple amateur stuff as well. So yeah, that's me.
Hello there, I'm Taylor. Most people know me as the professional Starlight Glimmer fanatic, host of Webcam Hangouts on Tuesday nights, sports commentator for Crackle's Cousin Cosplay, and a majority of other things in this fandom. I'm surprised I'm even a part of it at this stage of the game. What kind of sports do I follow? Well, compared to these guys up on here, I actually follow auto racing such as like NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, NHRA, and
basically anything with an engine, pretty much.
if you want to call it that. But
March 5th, right? Coming up.
Yeah.
Next Formula One.
Oh, yeah. And it's happening on my birthday this year, so.
Hey.
Oh yeah, can't wait to talk about that.
Yep.
So I'm excited to be here, and can't wait to talk more sports with y'all.
Sports.
Oh, you'll be good at them.
People will see them running and think that they're
Kenyans.
How's it going, everybody? The name's Nicky D here.
Hi, Nikki.
You can just call me Nick or Nicky. I prefer either. I've been part of the fandom since 2014, my sophomore year in high school, and I haven't really gotten into sports until like I was in college. I started with football, and then like a year or two later, it was basketball, and then I started paying attention to baseball again once the Phillies got Bryce Harper. Actually, just like Red Card, I'm an avid Philadelphia sports fan because I'm from the area.
He's actually from South Jersey.
Southern New Jersey, to be exact.
Close enough.
I'm 20 minutes away from the great city of brotherly love. Love the Sixers, love the Phillies, love the Union, love the Eagles. I don't pay attention to hockey. I tried getting into it.
But he's also just now getting into soccer.
Pretty recently. It was around 2020 is when I got into
Let me
soccer.
tell you, the mascot that your city deserves, and like absolutely fantastic mascot, Gritty.
Gritty. Okay. Even if you're not a hockey fan, I feel like you
Get into it
you
for Gritty
cannot
alone.
hate
He's
Gritty.
amazing.
He's off the rails.
Yeah, and but yeah, so I'm an avid sports fan. I'm also a singer and a rapper. So hey, but we're not here to discuss my music. We're here to discuss sports. So let's get into that.
Yo, what's your SoundCloud?
I mostly post on YouTube now. I haven't posted to SoundCloud in forever. But I'll pass the mic on to Serge.
How's it going, everybody? I go by Chief 101.
Hi, Chief.
Hi, Chief.
And I'm also from South Jersey area, mostly close to the ocean area in Atlantic City. So, besides that, if you don't notice my shirt in my own hometown, I also play hockey. I play for my own hometown in hockey. I was also big into Philadelphia sports back then. Not too much into football as I used to be, but I'm more into baseball, hockey, and basketball. All right, but I actually have played those particular sports in real life, and I'm still playing hockey today. But I also referee it as well for the kids. I help out the kids hockey for the youth league in my own hometown in Egg Harbor Township. I also help out the disability for the kids and other adults who has disabilities with baseball and basketball. So, and I'm still currently doing that today over amongst certain parts of South Jersey and Absecon and in Margate. Right now, like what I do and all that stuff, I enjoy all those particular sports. They've been a part of my life ever since I was young. Also, luckily enough, in one of the hockey leagues, I was also in a Mays Landing Hockey League. My team made it to a championship, but unfortunately we lost. Made it second place. So, but it was enough because I was lucky enough. I made a couple goals during that league. So very fortunate to be a part of all those things, and I'm still going today. All right. So thank you.
That's the same.
My name is, I go by Ajnrules.
Hi, AJ.
And I joined the fandom in 2012, so basically you say
You're another old.
I got into it to get over the 2011 World Series. That was bad.
Oh.
And I've been a baseball fan probably longer than most of these guys have been alive.
Probably.
Since I went to my first game in 1993. That's how long ago.
I wasn't
even born.
I wasn't even conceived.
I wasn't even an idea yet.
We were processing.
Probably when I was like a little baby.
I was like 5 years old probably at that time.
Yeah, so I've been a baseball fan for a long time, and only recently got into hockey. And
I guess based on your jersey, you are a Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Dallas Stars going to the game tomorrow, so that should be fun.
Were you at the Ducks game most recently by chance?
Uh,
Because I was. I'm a Ducks fan, and I had a paper bag over my head.
was that the
I'm
game
sorry.
where they took the?
There was stuff in that paper bag.
Was that the game where they took the Stars to overtime and lost in a shootout?
I wanted us to lose because we're tanking. We're going for Bedard, right? So if we were going to lose, let's not gain any unnecessary points. Or, sure, let's win. We haven't won in Dallas in forever. And we went to overtime and got an unnecessary point. It was exactly the result that I didn't want.
Right now, Columbus, Chicago, and
And us.
are ahead of you.
Ahead/behind, yes. We can't even tank properly.
It happens. I forgot to mention that I started in the My Little Pony fandom back in 2013, so I'm getting close to 10 years in the fandom. But now, also, y'all probably should know about this, I'm also a musician in the fandom too.
He's good.
So,
How's your SoundCloud?
no SoundCloud, either on YouTube or I'm on Twitch. So that's where you'll find it.
Everybody's on YouTube.
Yep.
All right. So I just want to ask one question. I just want to ask one question. Before we get all into the nitty gritty stuff. No pun intended for a Flyers mascot, but. I've never asked this before, but what would you? I've always been curious about this. Like, what would you say your favorite, I guess, sports segment on television is? Like, be it like it's on ESPN or Fox or anything like the not top 10, for example, or the top 10.
Oh, jeez.
To me, if I had to answer that one, I'm still going with my favorite sports back then when I was watching basketball during the era of Michael Jordan and many others. I'm still loving when they did segments on the NBA on NBC when they had the playoffs back then. When I was watching Michael Jordan play against other teams, when the Chicago Bulls used to beat other teams in the finals. So that was always a favorite moment.
I think we missed AJ.
Oh yeah, let's go with AJ.
No, I said happy 60th birthday, Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It's his 60th birthday today.
Happy birthday, MJ.
Oh, and
Go.
baseball fans, you might have heard this, but Tim McCarver passed away.
Yeah,
We heard, yeah. Rest in peace, Tim.
He's
Great
great commentator.
great voice, like when watching the World Series on Fox with Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Buck. Yeah,
That's gonna be an
it seems like
interesting
nobody
topic.
likes Joe Buck.
Nobody likes Joe Buck.
Why does Aikman
I digress. But
He has the voice, but he doesn't have the passion. Yes.
But Tim McCarver, Tim McCarver hasn't only been on. He's been on like ABC. He's been on CBS. Like when they did the World Series. Like he's been everywhere.
I was gonna say probably the best comparison is either Gary Thorne or Doc Emmerich is in the world of hockey, like how integral to the game they were.
I love Gary Thorne calling either hockey or baseball.
It's so disappointing that now he's only a local affiliate with the Baltimore Orioles.
I don't think they renewed his. I don't think they. I think.
Bring it back, ESPN.
I think.
Bring it back, Disney.
I think that Masson in Baltimore didn't renew his contract after 2021. And it was fun to listen to on Orioles broadcast, but yeah, I really think that ESPN should have brought him back for the return to NHL commentary.
Him and Bill, like one night was all we were asking for.
Yeah.
They moved over. We just wanted one night.
Yeah. Well. Now we may never know. What's your favorite television segment on sports, Nikki?
So like I usually like wait to watch like highlights or like analysis when it comes out on YouTube, but like usually like it's almost anything with Stephen A. Smith, so like first takes. Every once in a while, like I'll find a undisputed highlights. I'll see like I hate Skip Bayless with a burning passion, so like whenever I hear
I love watching him and Skip.
whenever I hear Shannon Sharp like you argue with Skip Bayless, that like it gives me an unbelievable amount of serotonin. Like you would like skip, no.
But do you like to listen to Stephen A. Smith when the Cowboys lose in the playoffs?
Oh,
How about them Cowboys?
a cigar and a Stetson.
I think my favorite one of those was, I think it was when they lost to the Niners last year, and Stephen A. posted a video, and it started with him like streaming on his phone. He's like looking around.
Oh yeah, I know
and
exactly
it
what
slowly
you do.
pans to
He
him.
does that every time.
I love
It's
it.
great. I love it.
And he just starts laughing.
It's the reason I get up in the morning.
I don't think AJ answered like what his favorite television segment on sports was.
Well, I don't know. I don't really watch enough television, but
yeah.
I do watch like sports stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
There's a group of people up in Canada affiliated with the TSN.
Bar down.
Yeah, Bar Down.
Bar Down podcast.
Their quizzes are great.
I love the quizzes. I love watching them like mess with each other too. It's fun. They're like, have you ever watched their beer league shenanigans?
Yeah.
And our hockey player might appreciate this. How they got like I think it was Corwin got like 4 boxes of tape and taped up someone's stick with all 4 boxes worth of tape. And it's like lifting a bench press bar, according to them. It's like, it looks like a giant pillow, like the way he's carrying it. He can barely move it, but it's so heavy.
Yeah, I like the one.
I'm sorry.
No, I said I like the one where they cheer whenever the other team scores.
What about you, Taylor?
Okay, so this is a little bit off. This is a little on
Out of the box.
out of the box compared to the rest of you up here, but there's a segment on NASCAR Race Hub, and it's called Radioactive.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say radioactive.
Are you surprised though? Okay, so you're wondering what radioactive is. Well, whenever a race happens on the previous week, they go back and do like a radio style broadcast and, do in-car
or highlight reel
and
they take the radio transmissions from each of the teams, like even some like the more like outrageous radio transmissions and they compile them into like less than 3 minutes.
And one of my favorite radioactive moments was a few years ago at Martinsville for the playoff race, and Joey Logano and Matt Kenseth had a very beef rivalry, and it was the race that Matt was heavily damaged and just flat took Logano out. And
I still can't believe he did that.
And one of the crew chiefs on the radio goes, "Oh my God, Matt Kenseth just made more fans than he ever did in his entire life. He just made that move."
And I don't think he was wrong either.
And there's a lot of great moments from Radioactive, but that's just a moment that'll stick in my mind forever.
What's your opinion of the wall ride?
Weren't you talking about this at Cider Fest?
Talking about this at Cider Fest.
Okay, so
I'm all NASCAR, but I know this.
listen, I know Ross Chastain for a while, and him to pull that move, and everybody else just losing their minds over, damn, why did I do that?
I mean, it was a great move. It was a great move when it was legal. But now with this new rules package that NASCAR has come out with, you can't do that anymore because in the name of safety, that's a no-no.
I watched the highlight a few days ago, and the top comment was, "This is going to have a rule named after him in a few weeks."
I could have told you that was going to happen because people are going to complain about it, and then NASCAR is going to lower the room and say, no, we can't have drivers doing that anymore because either it's unfair or it endangers either the fans or driver safety.
And today it's known as the Hail Melon because Ross Chastain is a watermelon farmer on his off days when he's not driving a race car.
It's kind of a pun of the Hail Mary play in football.
Yeah.
Now, I have a lot of different favorite sports segments on television. But if I had to actually, I want to pick two actually. It would probably be both Come On Man and Shactin' a Fool. Because it creates some of the funniest moments from the previous week of each of their respective sports, and in some of them like even like way back in the day, like when the old Monday night countdown crew, like with Chris Berman and Keyshawn Johnson and Chris Carter and Mike Ditka were on doing it. That stuff was hilarious. I need to watch more of this, and same thing with Shactin' a Fool. As well, especially when he kept ratting on JaVale McGee. Oh my God!
I've got a segment for you.
What's that?
Basically the same thing for hockey. Steve's Dangles.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I saw some of that on YouTube, and I thought that I mean it doesn't. It's okay, but it doesn't have, I guess, the same flair as, say, Shactin' a Fool or Come On, or even the Not Top 10 does. I mean,
it is a guy doing a thing for fun.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Sportsnet, but in the end, it's one guy versus his studio.
So, with that being out of the way, I think it's time we start. I think it's time we talked about.
Oh, well, here we go.
So,
Is it that time, Red?
The Super Bowl.
If somebody could give me a bottle of alcohol to go with this conversation, that'd be swell.
what kind?
Yes.
So,
Where do you want to begin here, Red?
How about we talk about how the NFL might have to ban the Eagles' version of the QB sneak?
well, please let's not.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that one later.
Well, I just want to say that you know that despite the loss, the Eagles fought hard and Jalen Hurts played really well, like we'd expect any less from it, but our defense for most of the night just did not show up.
No, especially in the second half.
No, we dropped the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like someone flipped the switch. But that holding call with less than 2 minutes to go, I questioned that. I mean, it was a call that was really not that decisive, to be honest.
Yeah, like I was talking about this with my dad at the day after the Super Bowl. He said it was a stupid call, but at the same time, it's like all they did is it just made a 30-foot field goal for those guys into a 25-foot yard field goal. I mean, all it did is just increase the likelihood that the kicker was going to make the field goal. But still, it was a stupid call. Either way, it's just a dumb call.
As you said, the way I put it was, the Chiefs were going to make that field goal.
Yeah, either 30 or 25-foot yards. Yeah.
The difference was 80 seconds on the clock.
Yeah. Well, granted, if that flag was never called, let's say, and if they had to do like a 30-yard field goal, like we don't know if they would have made it or if someone could have slipped, wink, wink, or if it could have got blocked or the snap could have been botched. Like who knows? But at the same time, it's just an unfortunate call. Like it wasn't really necessary.
Now let me just say this: James Bradbury was who the penalty, what the holding penalty was calling. I mean, I admire his honesty.
Yeah.
Like he said, I was holding. I admire his honesty, but honestly, I mean,
It was a soft call.
It was.
Technically, it was a
No,
call.
it was. It really was, and it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like it was going to affect the play that much. I mean, it was. I mean, it was a pass play, and
It wasn't catchable.
He had no chance to catch the ball, and you throw the flag anyway. It was not. It was an unnecessary. It was an unnecessary penalty.
Did you hear that Juju Smith-Schuster, he made a Valentine's joke about that? Yeah. And then A.J. Brown clapped back at him and called it as Juju Smith-Schuster TikTok boy. Listen here, TikTok boy. Oh my God. The source was insane.
Now, I just want to say that the penalty call was not what made the difference in that game. What ultimately made the difference is right after the teams came back onto the field for the second half, is a Jalen Hurts fumble, scoop and score for a touchdown. That was the difference. That's what lost us the game. If they don't score the game, we win.
I thought that was the first half.
No, I said false start.
What?
Not a false start, but changed the
No,
because that second time they changed the entire outcome.
It was first half.
Wait, was it?
Yeah, it was started by the false start, and then it tumbled.
Oh yeah.
Well, either way, if we don't if Jalen Hurts doesn't fumble that football, the Eagles are still in the lead, and we have an even greater chance to win this football game.
Fortunately, that didn't happen.
No. Sorry.
Oh no, you go.
Oh. Can I also just point out the field conditions were abysmal.
You might want to get your tinfoil hats out ready for this one.
So they were trying out a new version of the turf, but the thing is, it wasn't like brand new. Oklahoma State University has been using that turf for the last couple of years. It's just
don't the Cardinals play at that stadium too?
Yes.
They've been playing on that surface too, haven't they?
No. They switched out the turf for the Super Bowl. They wanted to go with a new.
Why?
They wanted to go with a new cut of it, I guess. But the thing is like I said, it wasn't brand new. Like Oklahoma State had been using this variety of turf for years. This was probably just a bad batch of turf that they did.
Now here's what I heard.
What happened for that? First off, resident Oklahoma fans, I can say that's the first L Oklahoma State took this year. Now that being said, what happened was they're using multiple seeds from it for this new turf court, and they did not give it enough time to grow, so it wasn't deep till everybody.
So they basically rushed into it pretty much.
So here's a conspiracy theory that I heard.
Are you really going to do that?
No, well, I was actually talking to the gentleman that just came in, Nick Miag, who's also a Birds fan. So here's a conspiracy theory that I heard from both him and also somebody else. I don't know how true this is, but I heard that the groundskeeper at State Farm Stadium, he was a longtime Kansas City fan. So that he designed the turf to like make sure that the Birds lose, but like at the same time, Kansas City, they're playing on that same field, so I do feel there is some flaws to that. Theory.
I mean, yeah, if he's a Kansas City fan, Kansas City also plays on that field. That theory doesn't make it much sense.
Right? Yeah, that's why I'm like kind of scratching my head at that conspiracy theory. It's an interesting theory, no less, but like I'm still kind of scratching my head at it.
I just want to go back to the penalty call with less than two minutes to go. I just want to point out something that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said. I think it was it right before the Super Bowl that they said that officiating has never been better in this league.
Yeah.
I beg to differ, Mr. Goodell. Mr. Commissioner.
Mr. Drunk Goodell.
Someone brought up that it's not necessarily that the officiating is any better or worse. It's that we have 7 different angles of replay, so that we have a lot more of a real time seeing as it happens that no, the call wasn't right.
But the big problem I have is that the Commissioner of Football said that. And here we have a call that is really undecisive. That really should have had. And on a play that should not have impacted the result of that play, affects the outcome of the entire game. Well, affects the outcome of how the game is decided. And I have a big problem with that. And the Commissioner of Football says that.
But that ref also has a reputation for like taking so long for like replays and stuff for it as well, and like trying to find the one angle of dispute the entire thing.
And we're still disputing what the definition of a catch is. like
the helmet catch that who was it that caught that? Was it Quez? No.
David Tyree. Which that was a catch. And I'm going to say that as a salty New England fan, that was a hell of a catch.
Also, I just want to say, I'm sorry for Super Bowl 52.
I'm not.
No, don't worry about it. Because I think that game proved that, that Tom Brady is just one of the best all-time quarterbacks. But as good as he was, same thing. Our defense failed to show up against Nick Foles having the performance of the fucking line.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it was a good game.
And it's like we won the next year, so it's like that kind of takes the sting away, so we both walk away happy. Right?
Well, and Sunday, and Sunday's game was also a good game up until the penalty call.
Yeah.
So I mean. Also, what another thing that really hurts about this loss is we also lose both our offensive and defensive coordinators after the end of the season.
I'm glad Gannon's gone.
Defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon is most likely like there's rumors that he's going to the Cardinals.
No, he's at the Cardinals right now.
He's at the Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah, he's been there for the past couple days.
I wrote this on Sunday with question marks next to the team that they're going to, and Shane Steichen, our offensive coordinator,
confirmed with the Colts.
With the Colts, yeah. So that's a double whammy for our offensive and defensive coaches.
Yeah, I'm not sure about defense. I feel like a defense will improve without Gannon.
Hey, as a New England fan, I can recommend a certain what's his name? The guy with the beard who played Patricia. I can recommend Matt Patricia as a defensive coordinator because he's at least not completely awful at that. Offensive coordinator, no, stay the hell away. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Oh wow!
And another thing, as a Philadelphia sports fan, and Nick can reciprocate on this, is that this loss is really stings because because in the last 4 months, Philadelphia sports team, the both of us had to suffer this while we were at Cider Fest.
Yeah, like
Philadelphia Union.
All 4 of us were in the room at Cider Fest watching the MLS Cup
together. We watched the overtime of the MLS Cup.
Yeah, the penalty shootout. Oh my God!
Philadelphia Union loses on penalties.
Check the vlog.
The Philadelphia Union score in overtime or an extra time to a 10-man. LAFC, and then they equalize with just minutes later to force penalty kicks, and they lose. And then that same day, the Phillies lose the World Series.
That one actually stung a little bit less because I was at the concert, so I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we see you, and good series. Good series. And then the Philadelphia Eagles lose the Super Bowl. I mean.
And we already know the Sixers are second round exits anyway. Might as well just swallow that pill now.
You want to know something?
South to the Phillies, man. I mean, with the acquisition of Trey Turner, I mean,
I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I am pretty happy for that.
Yeah, I have that.
I'm
But
expecting great things from Philadelphia.
you want to know something? Who here knows who Scope is?
Jonathan Scope?
No.
Oh, the
Brony.
Brody guy.
Osco.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know what he quote retweeted me or replied to me on Monday when I pointed out when I quote retweeted that about the 3 Philadelphia sports teams in just a few months making it to championship games and losing. He said, "This is what you get for booing Santa Claus," and I'm like, "Oh," and I'm like,
That happened before the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Come on, get over it.
He got me.
You know what? Something I did.
I wasn't even born when that happened. That was 50 years ago. Or something. I don't know when it was, but I wasn't even born.
If there is anything that I do find solace in, it's the fact that Rihanna's onboard child saw the Super Bowl stage before Dak Prescott did. So that makes me a little bit happy. But my dad says like it was a bad omen that for the Philadelphia fans in Arizona to boo Dak Prescott when he received the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Like,
well, and here's the
Kinda
thing,
wish it did do that.
and him being a
Yeah.
ref might also understand, because I was an umpire for several years earlier. And so when the Cowboys lost to the 49ers last year,
And umpire in football or baseball?
softball.
Okay.
So, but idea was I was a ref.
Right.
So like,
You were an official. You were an official, basically.
Yeah, and so the Cowboys fans booed the refs because they thought it was their fault that Dak Prescott didn't hand him the ball and he got in the way. And
Oh, yeah.
around the clock, right?
Which
And their
couldn't
fans-
be any more false.
Yeah, which the fans were throwing debris at the refs.
Which is inexcusable
Yeah.
for any fan base to do.
Yeah,
Right.
and here's the thing though, when they asked him about it in the post-game interview, and Dak Prescott was just like sick of everything at that point, and he was like, "What did you see anything about the fans throwing debris onto the field?" And you're like, I forget what the comment was. It was just something wry about the fans being as frustrated as he was. He said, but they were throwing at the officials. He said, "Oh well, credit to them then." And when he said that, like I remember going, "Boy," and so it's.
I get the frustration, but Dallas fans' anger was very much misplaced.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, right, like, my biggest issue with that whole thing is the NFL gives a guy who, like, publicly said, hey, good for you guys throwing trash the officials. They gave him the Man of the Year award.
A year later,
A little
yeah.
over a year later. I'm like,
I didn't even connect those dots.
I think at the very least, at the end of at the very least, Dak Prescott should have been fined for those comments.
He was.
Oh, he
but,
was, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it wasn't a major fine, but it was still fine. I'm just like, come on.
Basically a hand slap, basically.
And as for the booing in Arizona, we Arizonans are very, 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 very salty.
Well,
Philly fans.
and the reason why Philly fans are probably just as salty is because because especially in the last couple of months is that we come so close and we blow it.
We've been teased.
And also we're historically we like Philadelphia is not known as a championship city, and it's frustrating because. We look at other cities like, LA, where they have the Lakers that won multiple championships. Chicago with the Bulls have won multiple championships when Michael Jordan was there. With the Red Sox that have had like.
We won 4 in the last 20 years.
But that's pretty successful,
Yeah.
and the New York Yankees 27 World Championships. I mean, go flippin' figure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can understand our frustration.
You're another big market that's not making it happen.
I mean, yeah, there's potential, there's talent.
Yeah.
But we can't close the deal, and I mean.
I am going to say this again as a Boston fan. When 1 or 2 of your teams learns how to close the deal, it's going to be a while before you have to come down from that high. Because it used to be the New England and the Boston teams had that problem. You know, after the Celtics failed, you know, or after Larry Bird left the Celtics and they went on a drought, the Bruins for years, the Red Sox, the Patriots had their you know, they were the butt monkeys of the NFL and the MLB for years, and then suddenly Boston becomes title town USA because all of them win title like one after the other.
Mainly because of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, basically.
Yeah, well, that, at least for the Patriots.
For the Patriots, yeah.
And then all the other teams fell in line. They brought in Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen for the Celtics, and look what happened there.
Manny Ramirez and Big Papi.
Manny Ramirez, Big Papi.
I hate the Boston Red Sox, but I have a lot of respect for Big Papi.
Yeah,
He's cool.
Yes.
And then with the Bruins, they had one cup, and then they've had like 2 or 3 cup runs since, and so like they're hanging around. And this year they're just blowing all the competition out of the water. It's kind of scary, really.
So, on the subject of hockey, the last time the Flyers won a
What's that? What's hockey?
Based.
the last time that the Flyers won a Stanley Cup was in the 70s. The Broad Street Bullies. Yeah, we came in '75. We came so close in 2010
The goal that went in
to the Chicago Blackhawks, and it was such a fluke goal. Like none of the officials saw it go in, none of the announcers saw it go in, none of the fans saw it go in until replay showed, hey, that puck is in the net.
The only
Like,
player
oh
that saw
my
it went
goodness.
in, the only player that saw it went in was Patrick Kane. He just wheels off the Celtics.
The person who scored the goal, and they're like, oh my goodness, our season ends on that? You've got to be kidding me! After the Flyers came crawling, like kicking and screaming in down to the last day of the regular season, to beating the New York Rangers to make it into the playoffs.
They came back from a 0-3 deficit
to the Bruins
to get to the Stanley Cup.
I mean,
And that's how it ended.
So you understand my melancholy here when you see we come so close, we're on a roll, and then we blow it when it matters the most. So,
Hey, Red,
well, yes.
for Eagles for that game specifically, what for y'all? What was worse for it? The call or like it took away what could have been in 80 seconds or whatever for it?
What do you mean?
I know there was
From the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the Super Bowl, where there was a lot of. I have friends who are like they were more upset at the holding, but I had other friends who are like, I'm not upset at the holding. I'm more upset at they stopped beating what could have been a comeback, at least going over.
Well, my hopes for the Eagles' defense was like plummeted as the game went on. I mean, our defense failed to stop Patrick Mahomes.
It's crazy because
all game long, but that call, I mean, was just salt in the wound. It added insult to injury to what was already a bad night for our defense.
It's wild because Gannon, I remember for the past couple weeks before leading up to the Super Bowl, he's been hyping up the defense pretty well. It seems like all the sins were forgiven in the past. Everyone's like, oh, I'm so wrong about Gannon. Super Bowl happens. Never mind. We don't forgive you.
And I'm honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Going into Sunday's game, I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. I'm not gonna lie, because in several games during the regular season, there were a couple of games where we had to come from behind, or that we were leading by a pretty wide margin, and then the opposition came close to coming back in the second half. It's like, oh my God, the Eagles are blowing it. The Eagles are blowing it again. The Eagles are blowing it again. And but we do eventually end up winning those games, and the Eagles will have to be on their best, both offensively and defensively, and on special teams, if we're going to win this Super Bowl. And that didn't happen.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
And so, also, I'm sorry if this seems like the Philly sports pity hour, but I need to unload.
We lost 4 championships in the calendar year of 2022.
It actually was for. It actually was for the Philadelphia Stars in the US in the USFL.
We can't catch a break.
Which honestly not very many people follow.
But
to be
still,
honest.
it's the principle.
At the game.
You were at the game.
Canton, Ohio.
Oh, okay, you put that away.
Fresh hot ales.
So
Here's my line of thinking. So the Sixers again, they're more than likely to be second round exits. If they're not, I'll be surprised.
So
Here's the thing:
the Philadelphia Flyers don't have a chance.
And
either.
so our hopes are now relying on the Philadelphia Wings, the lacrosse team.
Well, fuck.
That's my point.
Also, our hopes are also lying on the Villanova Wildcats, who have not had a good season since Jay Wright left.
I don't pay attention to college sports, so you're more versed.
Did I mention that I live 5 minutes away from Villanova's campus?
I feel like you did.
It's better than Temple. God.
Head guard, are you in Wayne?
I am in Wayne.
Okay, I'm in Drexel Hill.
Oh, I'm in Radnor Township, Wayne, not too different Wayne. My three of my step siblings, actually all my step siblings went to Villanova in college. My grandfather went to Villanova. Actually, I think both my grandfathers, and also one of them went to Penn as well. So, Villanova, I think cheering on their basketball team pretty much runs in our home pretty much.
Yeah.
AJ got something to say.
Oh, what do you got, AJ?
So I will say that I did go to a Flyers game at Wells Fargo Center.
Oh yeah, that was recent.
Oh, you did, yeah.
And they do have the nicest bathrooms of all the NHL arenas I've been to.
well, the Sixers also play there too, so you can say the Sixers and the Flyers.
Yeah.
Just one more thing about the Super Bowl. Like, are we going to talk more about the Super Bowl?
I think we'll call it there. Let's open it up to.
I just want to say
after that.
I just want to say one thing really quick. So, like the day after the Super Bowl, I in my infinite wisdom, I decided to watch the newest episode of The Last of Us.
Oh, he told me about this. That was a
my
very
God,
bad
that was a
decision.
bad idea. I was so vulnerable. I kind of pretty much got over the Super Bowl loss, and then the episode happened. And I'm just like,
No, you don't like
bad idea. Good episode though.
You have to know when you are mentally the most vulnerable.
Yeah,
and don't subject yourselves to anything further after that. Otherwise, you're just going to lose it.
I did see some people talk about the new episodes, and I'm like, no, I'm built different. I'm gonna make it. Nope.
No.
Nope.
You know, like the meme of views like body slamming the hostage.
Oh yeah.
That was Nick.
So
we move on.
I think we're done talking about Philly sports and like my melancholy about like how they've been doing. So
AJ, you have one more thing.
So okay, what was that, AJ?
Oh, I said I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I watched 2001: The Space Odyssey.
You were better off. You were better off.
We're I think all five of us are in a Discord server called BlepCon. It's the old BronyCon server.
Yeah.
Which runs. There's a sign up basically promoting it. Since the pandemic, we've been running virtual events like movie nights, cartoon nights, game nights,
Music nights as well.
Yeah, music nights. And 2001: Space Odyssey was a movie on Sunday night during the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about. Now it all makes sense.
So I'm pretty sure you want to talk about something because the Daytona 500 is on Sunday, is it not?
It is, and it is. I've been a race fan for nearly 17 years now.
Who are you a fan of specifically?
Wasn't it your Twitter handle once upon a time?
Long ago it was, and I do not miss that name one bit. So I am a Kyle Busch fan. Yeah, I'm used to it by now, but thank God.
I mean, his reputation precedes him pretty much.
He needs to retire.
He did.
Well, he's within.
How old is he?
He's like 37 now.
Oh, he's a boomer.
I mean, how old was Richard Petty when he retired?
Well, not that old, but
And he was racing since the very start up until 1992.
right. And
I bet he was in his 60s.
I mean, considering what happened with
Yeah.
Dale Senior in the Daytona 500, I feel like retirement is a safe option. 'Cause I
Yeah.
watched that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell you,
But
Bush's move to RCR. How you feel about that?
much better than old Blow Joe. You know, listen here. I hated Joe Gibbs Racing for an awful long
And
time.
yet you supported one of their drivers.
Yeah, like I had no choice. But you know what?
You supported Toyota as well.
Again,
There's anything wrong with Toyota.
Again, I had no
Wrong
choice.
with it.
But listen, you know, or Coach Gibbs in general never supported Kyle even once. Now I'm listening to Kyle on the radio with Richard Childress, and Richard is pumping him up and talking to him on the radio and everything. You know, that's what a good team owner is supposed to do, is pump up your driver a little bit. And Joe was being all his Christian Andy self here, said, no, no, seriously, Coach Gibbs is more like, well, you have to treat everybody with respect and whatnot.
Except for you.
Except for you. And Richard's like, no, go beat him or something. Like, you know, it's funny because Kyle used to be sponsored by M&M's, and now he's sponsored by 3CHI, which is a weed brand company. So
Stay off the weed!
so funny enough, so in an interview this weekend over in Daytona, he said, I went from being the candy man to being the adult candy man.
Oh,
and I just,
no! No!
CBD gummies or something like that?
Yeah, and then he was and then at the Clash last weekend, he was talking about, so is like, I'm living on the high life right now. And I'm like,
Double meaning.
yeah, my boy had a few gummies here and
You drive in your car. Ha! So guess what? Goodbye!
So my guy goes from sponsoring candy to now he's got 3CHS as a sponsor. He's got Alsco uniforms. He's got BetMGM. So weed, gambling.
This is a Vegas car.
Yeah.
This is a Vegas
What
car.
seven deadly sins are we using today to sponsor a NASCAR car?
This is essentially a Las Vegas themed car.
And oddly enough, I now live out in Las Vegas. So
Are you going to the Grand Prix?
I will be at Ciderfest actually,
Ciderfest, yeah.
unfortunately.
F.
Because
The thing is, I know you're paid. Like, so this past season was
F in the chat.
my first Formula One season, and down at COTA, down in Austin, they had the traditional American Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And there was a person in one of my groups who was selling tickets to go. And if it weren't for the fact that I was going up to Boston for that week, I would have gone.
Oh,
But,
no.
Oh well.
well,
I'm sorry.
Well, and just the odd kicker of the whole thing, going to F1 for just a second, that Las Vegas took over Russia's date for a.
That makes it all the sweeter.
So
Capitalism wins.
wow.
The rare capitalism W.
So what's going to be interesting about the Grand Prix in Las Vegas is that it's going to take place at night on the Vegas Strip. So they're going to run.
The starting time's at like 11 hour time, Dallas time.
Yeah.
It's at 10, yeah.
Because-
no, midnight, because it's 10 o'clock Pacific time. Jeez.
Yeah.
Time zones, what are they?
Well, what's going to be interesting is that since I live in Las Vegas, I know these intersections.
Yeah.
I'm going to be amazed how they're going to get down from the Palazzo all the way down to the Bellagio, because that is a.
They're going to use Elon
What'd you call me?
tunnel, right?
Oh God! Don't, please do not invoke his name after he was sitting with Rupert Murdoch at the Super Bowl.
Oh God! But,
Chief, want to say something?
I want y'all to know, I'm going a little off topic, related to the Super Bowl. Y'all probably might not notice this, but I was actually joined on a live stream with the one and only Voice of Reason, if anyone knows him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was in that live stream with him. So,
Oh yeah, like weren't you two like talking about the Super Bowl like on that
yeah,
stream?
we were watching the Super Bowl on the stream, and yeah, that's pretty much what it was during that time. So
That is actually pretty cool.
yeah.
Taylor, could I just point something out?
What's
Kyle Busch is driving the 8 car for Richard Childress, right?
correct.
If you think about it, Dale Earnhardt used to drove for Richard Childress.
Mm-hmm.
He owned Dale Earnhardt Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
Dale Earnhardt Incorporated used to own the number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that comes full circle now that Richard Childress now owns the number 8 car?
Well, if you also think about it, back in 2007, when Kyle was still driving for Hendrick Motorsports,
And Junior was driving for DEI.
yeah,
Back when DEI was a thing.
But I was going to mention that during the Texas race that year, that Kyle was involved in a wreck.
I remember this.
And he walked away before the end of the race, and the guy said, "Yeah, the car's done." And then, lo and behold, they get Dale Jr. to drive the 5 car, and then a year later, he's driving for Hendrick Motorsports.
There's something poetic about that, honestly, because going into the 2007 season, I mean, we knew that his contract with DEI was up.
And he hated Teresa Earnhardt, who's a bitch, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think that Junior was really put in a good position or a good position for to win or the DEI put any of the drivers in good positions to win a what was then the Nextel Cup or Winston Cup championships.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, it really all does fall to Teresa, honestly.
Yeah, and Teresa handled the whole thing ever since Dale passed away. It was like Teresa took over and she Grim Reapered the whole organization.
The anniversary is tomorrow, by the way, of Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
22nd.
Yeah.
Richard Petty's 55.
Okay, thank you.
10 more minutes.
Yeah.
By the way, can I just really quickly interject that the guy on the end has a really nice Eagles jersey?
That's not a Eagles jersey.
That's a Stars jersey. That's a Dallas Stars
That's
jersey.
a Dallas Star.
I think the
I've already mentioned
he's from around here. He's a local.
I gotta say, I've already made the bird joke because I accused him of wearing a Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
I actually compliment. That's a great jersey. I love the Dallas Star.
I think the green kind of threw you off, though.
I'm not gonna lie, though I'm not a hockey guy, I will admit though, like hockey jerseys, they are probably some of the nicest jerseys ever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when Mike Scott used to play for the
Aren't they called sweaters, though?
yeah, like when Mike Scott used to play for the Sixers, always wear
Are
socks.
very low.
I wish they would have done that with mine that I'm wearing now.
Yeah, because it's just more of like a nylon t-shirt.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, that's more of a jersey than a traditional hockey sweater.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it looks like it's just like a regular nylon t-shirt.
Yeah. What kind of is it ice hockey or is it roller or what?
For me, it's a street
hockey.
Street hockey. Okay. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I play ice hockey and it's a traditional sweater.
Yeah,
It's
so
gotta go pads under it. Right?
Yeah.
If you play hockey, you belong to the street.
Just don't forget.
It's redneck figure skating.
Oh, well, we got Betty Bob here. He's doing the quadruple axel. Oh my God, on that beautiful roller skate.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Actually speaking of that, I'm actually reminded of that we did this panel also at HarmonyCon last year, and it was during it was during the Beijing Winter Olympics, and I brought up the. I hate to do this again, but I brought up the whole figure skating controversy debacle that happened in Beijing with the
Oddly, the Russians.
with the Russian figure skaters about
that's me, my bad.
It scares me every time.
so yeah, that's when he mentioned figure skating that's what that reminded me of. I won't go into detail, but yeah, that happened.
On the topic of international controversies, there was also something we talked about last year, the World Cup.
Oh my God!
Are you talking like the Euro World Cup or
the FIFA World Cup.
Oh,
That happened. Yeah. I mean,
let's count all the things that happened. There were all the
Slavery.
people who showed up. Yeah, slavery. There were people who showed up to have like these luxury. They were expecting they paid high class rates. They showed up. They have a tent in the middle of the desert, and that is their quarters. There was the lack of beer that they were selling at the World Cup, and everybody who knows anything about Islam was like, "Oh no, who could possibly have seen this coming?" You know, stuff like that.
Right, Qatar was like, oh, we'll sell beer, and then right before the cup, they were like, no.
Yeah, just
okay. I'm just glad that 3 North American countries are joint hosting the next World Cup in 2026. Philadelphia is a host city.
Yeah.
Dallas host city.
Sweet.
Well, and now here's the weird thing though. They're expanding to 48 teams
Yes.
for that World Cup.
Yeah, that's why there's so many venues this time.
But the issue with it is there was a match played like in the early 1980s called the Disgrace of Gihon, where because the decisive match of their group was after a match where one of their dark horse rivals had gotten a favorable result, the two teams agreed to play to a 1-0 win and then didn't do anything.
I heard about that. It was basically a fixed result, pretty much.
And so now
That's
that
why
they're
they run consecutive
games. But the thing is,
On the last game, on the last
now
group
that they're
game.
going to 16 groups of 3, one team will always be sitting on the sideline while the last game of their group is played, which means the possibility of these fixed results is now
Increased?
Yeah, widely increased. Because the thing is, how would people?
16 threes? They're not doing
They're not doing
12 fours?
They're not doing 12 fours.
That's really odd.
It's really stupid.
I mean,
the idea behind it was that way
Well,
they
three
don't have to
teams
wor-
really
they
play
don't have
two
to wor-
games.
yeah, and the idea behind it was this way. Well, we don't have to worry about the teams that come in second and third. We don't
there's
have to-
no way that's going to work.
No,
That
it's
can't
not
work
going
because
to.
you can't do it with just playing 2 games.
I really hope that in the run-up to 2026 that FIFA does in fact revise that, because
What I would like to see, what I think would make the most sense, is if they do 12 and 4, right? And the top 4 seeded FIFA teams, if they get out, they would essentially get buys in the next round, so that the would be.
so it's effectively like a playoff bye in the NFL playoff.
Something like that.
That would not work in soccer. No way.
Yeah.
They already. I mean, and the thing is, they already seed teams for the pots, like the top 8
Right.
and or the host nation
Right.
get the top pot. And we're not going to worry about that this time. But it's like the FIFA World Rankings essentially don't matter outside of that, and I can see FIFA really trying to make them matter more because FIFA.
Well, I
32 tournament as it is so perfect. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
like-
they're gonna mess it up.
Why would they type something perfect? Like,
well, I mean, okay. The upside, I guess the upside to an expanded number of teams is I'm a huge U.S. national team fan. We failed to qualify for 2018. We did qualify for 2022.
on the last day.
On the very last day, yes.
And we lost the game in question too.
Yeah, it gives like the 48 team expansion gives the US a greater chance to get out of the CONCACAF qualifiers.
We don't have to. Not this time anyway. But
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when it was just 32, it ran a stupid hexagonal format. I don't understand. Like basically a round robin, pretty much.
And it was 8 this year. They moved it up to 8, so the top 4 got out. And
The from the Confederation.
yeah.
Yeah.
3
So
minutes.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. What's up, Chief? What's up, AJ?
I'm just gonna say that since last sports voting panel HarmonyCon, I did manage to finally make it to all 30 active major league ballparks.
That's an achievement. That's an achievement.
So
Nice.
it took me like 10 years to do that.
Now, as a bonus, there are still some old parks that are standing, like Arlington, for example, which is now the host for the Dallas Renegades or something like that. Did you go visit any of those?
Yeah, I've been to like a few of the still standing defunct parks, like been to Turner Field, I've been to RFK Stadium.
Ooh.
I've been outside the Astrodome.
Is RFK still standing, or did they tear that down?
They were gonna tear it down. I don't know if it happened yet.
Go ahead with the.
Yeah. Okay, I think that last I checked, that DC United and MLS was still playing there, unless they moved.
No, they moved.
Okay.
Is it RFK in Washington, D.C.?
RFK Stadium in Washington, yeah.
Yeah, it has a 3.8 star review on Google. So, so I guess it's still up.
Wait. How many stars does it have?
3.8.
3.8.
3.8.
Yeah.
So it must be pretty run down to have that low of a rating.
Pretty much.
So.
I don't know, what's the current rating of FedEx Field, given all the stuff we started about that?
Oh no.
FedEx Field.
Ugh.
I'll go ahead and check it.
Oh, boy.
I mean, when you have the footage of literally falling from the
4.0. Damn.
4.0 GPA for FedEx Field.
That makes me wonder, like, how bad is RFK if FedEx?
Well, if that's like kind of like an older stadium, then like no one's really there.
Well, what's worse, FedEx Field or Oakland Coliseum?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's
okay,
it. That's
we'll
it.
We'll put it this way, right? As bad as it
1 minute.
is,
I think you're biased, McMead.
as bad as it is, the Washington Commanders are not
Fair
trying to
enough.
move out of FedEx.
No.
The A's are trying
To move out of
damnedest to
Oakland
get out of
Coliseum.
Coliseum, yeah.
Are the A's relocating to it?
It is not official, but let's be real, they're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Where else would they go?
Oakland's not that.
World Series before that.
There's not going to be a Bay Area series again if they do that.
They'll just have the Golden State Warriors, and that's it.
And the San Francisco 49ers.
And the Niners.
And the Giants.
And the San Francisco Giants. Yeah.
Also, San Francisco has all five. They have San Jose for a couple teams, and then they have Golden State, and then
San Jose has the Sharks as well.
Should I mention that at 7:30 now?
7:30 Eastern.
Oh my God, my tablet's on EST.
What time is it, Nick?
Yeah. So I just want to thank everyone for coming to our Sports Bronies panel. We had a lot to unload. I want to thank you for bearing with us.
Thank you for going through our mouth.
I'm sorry if we were ranting, but we had a lot to unload on.
Oh yeah.
Philly fans,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. I'm Redcard. That's Taylor. That's Nikki. That's Achieve. That's AJ. Enjoy the rest of HarmonyCon.
And go Birds.
Go Birds.
go down. Yes, agree.
A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Get some sleep.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
You guys watch Your Name Tree on YouTube?
Yes, urinating tree.
No, I have not.
He is. So he does.
By the way, I think that combined no-hitter felt worse than a Super Bowl.
Watch urinating tree on YouTube. He's a sports poster, and he is hilarious. His earlier work is a lot more on the post variety, but like he's still very good at making fun of everybody equally.
Okay.